Hey, welcome back to another video. Well, we're out for a little bit of a beautiful rainforest walk this morning. We're going to be doing some vintage stuff with the EF 50mm 1.2 lens, an amazing lens. Just the images have never let me down when I've used it. And I thought it nice and relaxing. It's a really bright sunny day here on the sunny coast. There's no clouds. It's pretty much blown out if I go anywhere else. So I figured a rainforest, this is 10 minutes from home. We've been here before, but it's never let us down. And with this lens, I'm sure I'm going to be able to capture at least something. I do have the big 200-800 in here as well, and the 15-35 as a backup plan. More so if I find any bird life or anything in here, I'll probably get that big lens out and see if I can capture some birds running around through the trees. But at the most, I'm going to be looking at maybe just seeing what I can get with this beautiful 50mm. 50mm is a great focal length, and it's one, if you're just starting out, it's a great focal length to get used to and to really hone your skills. So it's, as we've said before, practice makes perfect, and even better than that, perfect practice makes perfect. So 50mm EF 1.2 can handle the low light. That's not going to be an issue. 1.2 will pretty much demolish this. So I'm not going to have any issues with light. The image will be amazing, I know that. It's just up to me now as a photographer to go and find a couple of good compositions for you to show. And I think I should be able to. Again, I've been here before many a time and it's always come up trumps. So I'm looking forward to just a nice relaxing little walk through the forest. Right, let's hit that intro and go and see what we can find. It's nothing like a nice peaceful walk in the forest when there's no one else around. Just stop and take it all in, I guess. I'm just looking for those little bits of light, that sun popping through the forest and catching leaves in certain ways and highlighting certain things. Can be a special time, day. Just yourself and your thoughts. See this leaf just up here, this little leaf, that light catching it? I'm just going to zoom, that's as far as I can get in with the pocket. But you can see just here, this little leaf. See how it's just got the sun's coming through the trees and catching it. It's got all that detail. Obviously some caterpillars or something have been eating it, or moths or something that's been feeding on the leaf. And then that light's just come through and it's just catching it, and it's just basically isolating it from the background. You get a nice dark rainforest background and then that. So yeah, it's hopefully that you can see that. It's sort of, yeah, just here, and I can see it straight on the screen. That light's just making that pop. And that's sort of what I'm going to be looking for today. I'm going to try and stay away from the water as much as possible. I do have the polarizer on. I'll come back out. It's going to bring out those vibrant greens out of it as well, which is really good for the rainforest, I've found. And even on this one here, you can see just straight here. See how the light is just coming, those leaves are acting like reflectors and catching that. Sometimes those subjects can be good because you've got that nice dark background and then you've got this really isolated thing. So even if I come in on that one, that's popping, and it's getting that separation of that subject matter. Sometimes the trickiest thing, and when you come to a rainforest, it's makes it a lot easier when you get that light coming through, because it gives you that separation naturally. And as well as that, you get that light that comes onto your subject. So you can pull all that detail out of your subject, pull all that detail out and get an amazing thing. And then how fleeting it is. Already the sun's moved and now that shadow's gone. So that's a once in a lifetime, one moment captured in a fleeting 30-second window. that you notice, and then it's gone. And if you're lucky enough and you can get a good shot out of it and it comes up good, well, you've had a good day, hopefully. Anyway, so I just thought that was a good one to highlight, because the details in that leaf, where whatever's been caterpillar or whatever's been in it, really makes it stand out, and it stood out because of that light bouncing off it and captured coming through the canopy. So very, very cool. And then this one obviously as well, that's a really good example. So hopefully, I'm sure you can see that one there. Not as pretty as that, not as much detail in it, but it's a really good example of that light. So if they're any good, I'll chuck them up. And I'm trying to get some other ones around where that light, that intermittent light coming through the canopy, is what we're chasing. We're chasing that light, and whatever it's hitting, whether it hits something that's worth taking a photograph, I guess that's the million-dollar question. And all about the right timing too, so fingers crossed. Come over here, see this little, again, same sort of concept. So we're looking at chasing the light, seeing what the light's highlighting, because it's dappled, it's coming through that canopy, and we get things like this. So you can see the branch coming down, some sort of creeper, and it's pretty boring without the light, but then it comes out here and it catches that light, just enough space, and the last 40 centimeters of it is highlighted by that light, and that's what we're going to try and get. The tricky part is getting the right image. So we want the lights coming this way, so we've got to try and get behind that and try and get a shot. So it means we've got to go in the water. Oh. And then probably, maybe not a vertical. So the beauty of that 50, and I want the dark background down to, I say 640. It's going to be bottom of the screen up to the top right of the screen. And it is moving a little bit. So it's going to be, take a few shots. F10, 250th of a second, so I can, if it is for the movement, that's the tricky part. Come back over so I can talk to you. So it's just seeing where that light is, and then going to it, and then working out a plan. And that's that harsh light that's outside the rainforest, which sort of makes it really hard to shoot. In here becomes a sort of a highlighting tool for you to get the best out of the rainforest. So what could be a dark, sort of flat sort of an image now becomes something that pops. And having the vintage lens on there, that 1.2, it blows out the back. Even at f10, you've got that fall off, that 3D pop in it, and it falls off, and then you get that really nice image. And I think it comes up pretty good. Probably not going to be able to see much of it there. If I take it off me, and then I come in here, you see what I'm talking about? So yeah, again, it highlight that light highlighting the plant as it does it. As you can see it going on my face from shadow to dark. Acts like a really good sort of a light, so it makes a massive difference. Going slow and looking, and again looking for this light, you can see the light just coming here, this beautiful little fungus, nice bright orange, lots of detail in there. Whole log's got fungus on it, so I'm trying to be careful. And then you can see just sort of this area we're getting a bit of light. So I'm just waiting for that sun to get in the right spot. A little bit dark now, but once that light comes and makes that orange pop, that's what we need. So it's just, this one's going to be a little bit of a, have to just sit and wait a little bit. There was light before, and I got a couple of shots off quickly while it was there. I don't know if they're going to be good enough. So hopefully I can get a little bit more of that sun back, because it's really nice when the sun was hitting the orange. It was really vibrant, really soaking up that light. So here we go. I'll give it 5 minutes and hopefully we can get something. But you can see a little bit of light coming on these ones at the back, just sort of starting to come through. The sun's moving. It's just one big tree up here that's blocking it, but as well as it's blocking it, it's also the one that's filtering it to make sure that we don't get just blinding light on there to wreck the whole thing. We want those shadows. Shadows are our friends, and that light is, if we get that at the right spot at the right time, we get that beautiful highlight. That's what we're after. So a good little spot. If we can get something out of this, we should have a nice little image. I might try and shoot this one up here that's got some light on it now. Okay, so I think we've got something for you. You can see that light's coming in there now on this one, and it's in and out because of the leaves and the branches. And it's, and what it's also doing is creating that little pattern. Just trying to get different angles of it. Yeah, I think it's come up really good. Really good example of how that light, that dappled light through the rainforest on a bright day can really help you accentuate what could be a flat subject. And then the biggest thing I noticed when shooting was this little branch up here was the little leaf patterns on that was creating the shadows. It gave me like a little shadow leaf pattern at the back, so over the top of the fungus. So it was pretty cool, really, really nice. I think I would definitely, well, you might be able to, hang on, I'll take the face track off. Hopefully you can see in there what I'm looking at. So you can see the little pattern, that shadow pattern across the fungus as well on the branch. That sort of makes a big difference to it as well. So anyway, got a shot there at least. Okay, up at the main falls now. It wasn't going to take too much water, but this, you can see this little pocket just in here in the rocks, and that light is just capturing all the white water down the bottom. Just don't know why. The light's just in the right spot at the right time. There's other little trickles everywhere, and I'll show you, come back to the main falls. It's just lucky. So you can see the bright light. What the bright light does is just blows it all out. And then I'll see how small a little pocket it is, and then how lucky I am to be able to get that, just that bright light. So there's the main falls up here in the corner. Flat, dead, lifeless. And then you come down here to just that tiny littlest little pocket, just come in between the rocks, and there's that little bit of light, little laser beam of light hitting it. Probably leave the shadows, the movement of water, 1/8 of a second, come up pretty good, so very nice. What I do want to have a look at while I'm up here at the falls is probably my favourite tree on the whole of the sunny coast. This beautiful fern that sits in front of the falls. And that cat, if I can get that with some good light on it, it's going to really be vibrant and pop. And I'll have just the dark falls behind it and a beautiful bright big fern. So it's one of those ones at 50 mil. I think it's a good length to capture that, because you can I just want to isolate that fern and just see if I can't get something with it. But stoked about that. Even now, that little waterfall, the light's gone. It's already dissipated. Going back to see how dark it is now. So I've got here at the right time. It's pure luck. Okay, done and dusted for another week. I thought I'd finish up in a nice little shady spot. A little waterfall that's highlighted over here. That's always nice. Very, very cool. Oh, come down a touch. So what did we learn today? We looked at that dapple light using the rainforest or woodlands or wherever you can get to that's got the ability to cut down that light to give you a chance to use that light as a highlighting tool. So as you can see in the waterfall, here we've got these beautiful little bits of dappled light coming through, and then they highlight the little bit of white water on the waterfall, so you get that. It actually looks really nice and makes the water pop, and those whites pop and the details pop. Where if you come back straight behind and you get the shadows, it looks flat. Light, shadow. Anyway, that's what I was attempting to do, and look, it makes it easier when you've got a lens like the 50mm 1.2. It gives you a really nice fall off as well, so those shadows sort of get blown out, and it really again brings your eye back to that image of what you're trying to highlight and what you're trying to shoot. And that's all we can hope for. Righto, I'll see you all next week. Stay safe. Peace.